Hey everyone, David DeHaas of Living Waters. This is take 2 of tonight's episode. I ran out of a little power earlier. So we're doing 20 tips on cancer prevention this month. 20 tips in 20 days, and I've already given you 4 tips, and tonight is tip number 5. So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, whom I am David DeHaas, I've actually had cancer. I've healed it on my own. I didn't use doctors. I didn't do chemo radiation. I've had numerous illnesses and diseases. I was published in a book last year about my story. The bottom line is, once you understand the secrets to healing, which is knowing the 4 natural laws, my belief is you can heal anything because your body's made in God's image and you have the ability to do that. So we're going to talk about preventing. And by the way, anything I say here on these episodes is not meant to diagnose, cure, or treat any disease. This is purely for entertainment and educational purposes only. So with that said, let's get started. First is education. Look, knowledge is powerful. Too many times people get in these situations where they're sick and they react based upon fear, false emotion appearing real. I don't want you to do that. 26 plus years ago, when I was really sick and I was trying to figure out what to do, I had a lot of fear about getting cancer or having cancer. So I went on a journey, and that journey took me to read a lot of books, meet a lot of great people, a lot of great mentors around the world. So I'm going to tell you today, in our smartphone world, our Google world, there's lots of books. There's that passage in the Bible that says, "My people perish from a lack of knowledge," is still true today because most of us have smartphones, but we're using it in dumb ways. Because the answers are there, the answers are simply everywhere. So let's rehash the first 4 tips. The first tip was education. There's a great series called The Truth About Cancer. 131 scientists, doctors, and survivors who healed themselves without doing the traditional method of treating cancer. So I would suggest you check that series out. A lot of other great books out there as well. I've got a whole library of them. If you want to know more about what books to get, just call our office. I'd be happy to give you the list. Number 2 is EMFs. No microwave, so electromagnetic frequencies. They're on your phone, these frequencies, and they bombard your cells. And now we've got these new smart meters on our houses. And I'm here to tell you, we actually have devices here at Living Waters. I have them on my phone, I have them on the televisions, I have them on every electronic device. Hair dryers, computer screens, TV screens, anything that puts out electromagnetic frequencies, including the power meter. In fact, there's a brand new device, patented, just was released, that is a perfect thing to cover your whole cell phone. So if you're interested in knowing more about that, again, call our office at 378-9911. That's in Boise, Idaho, 208-378-9911. Be happy to share that information with you as well. So microwaves destroy the food. And if you didn't see episode 2, and they actually cause it to be a toxic chemical. So what do? Throw the microwave out, go out and use it for target practice, but do not use a microwave again for the rest of your life. I'm serious about that. It is really a bad invention. All right, so no microwaves and no electromagnetic frequencies. The second is dyes. There's dyes in a lot of foods, especially these sports drinks. They're in M&Ms, they're in these candies, gummy bears, they're in a lot of vitamins that you try to get your kids to eat, and they're not good for you. They harm your cells. So number 4 is plastic and styrofoam. So you go to a restaurant, right, and you say, "Hey, can I have a takeout?" Yeah, sure. That's what they do. They put it in a styrofoam container, and that leaches into your food. Worse, maybe you're in a motel and you decide to get a cup of hot tea or a cup of hot coffee, and what they do, they have styrofoam cups. And you put hot water in it, and those chemicals leach into what you're going to be drinking, and you're literally throwing toxins into your body. And your liver tries to deal with it the best it can, but you know, there's only so much it can do. We've got a toxic-laden world we're in. So, and first of all, don't ever take those little plastic dishes and then put hot water in those, or hot soup or whatever, because again, those chemicals are going to leach into it. I do not drink out of plastic bottles, guys. I don't even get I use glass. I get those big juice containers, and after I empty those out, I keep those. And you see me at a soccer or basketball game where I'm refereeing, I've got two of those glass bottles. It also helps to keep track of the amount of water I'm drinking. So it's another great tool, and I use glass because the water tastes great. Filtered water, of course. And 5, tonight, we're going to highlight 5 is colonics, colon hydrotherapy. It's been around for thousands of years. In fact, when they discovered the Dead Sea Scrolls in the 1940s, one of the things they learned was about the Essenes. The Essenes had actually written about doing cleansing that over 2,000 years ago, before there was Monsanto, before there was pesticide sprays, before there was all these chemicals, no cars. In Jesus' day, they talked about doing colonics regularly. What do I mean by regularly? They said do a 10-day cleanse at least once a year. Why? Because, to paraphrase the Dead Sea Scroll about the colonics, was to get rid of the fears, false emotions appearing real. The emotional link to disease has to do with fear. And so you think about this is your second brain, and so how this lives is how you live. And we tighten up. We have those, you've heard about that gut feeling. Well, there's more neurons here in your gut than your entire spinal column. Neurons are like little cell phones. So imagine half the cell phones in your area all of a sudden being encrypted with a different frequency or being rendered useless. It would make communication very difficult. Well, that's what happens in your gut. So no matter how clean you eat, or no matter how big you think your poops are, you think you're really eliminating well, think of it like this. You take your garbage out of your house on a regular basis, you put it on the outside garbage can. The garbage truck comes once a week and it dumps it, right? And this goes on for a year or so, and all of a sudden one day you go out there and you lift it up, and every time he dumps it, it doesn't get totally clean, right? There's always a little bit of slime left. That's what happens in your gut. A little slime is left, and now you got a putrefying area that can use to yeast candida overgrowth. It destroys the microbiome system. We'll talk about that more in an upcoming episode. But guys, you're not getting perfectly eliminated every time, which is where colonics come in. Most people, I mean probably about 99% of us, do not fully eliminate, and you don't know what that really means until you do a colonic. If you've got cravings for foods that you know you shouldn't be eating, okay, those chemicals in your body, the only way you're going to get them out is to do colonics. It's the cheapest, most inexpensive, and the highest return on your health investment that you will ever make. So colonics are huge. Now, most of you have probably not seen a colonic room or done a colonic. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to take you down the hallway and show you a colonic room and show you a colonic bed, so you're not so feared up about doing a colonic. Because once you do one, in fact, I did one tonight, I feel so much better. You're going to want to make it a regular part of your health maintenance. You know, one way to explain it is much like when you go and work all day and maybe you sweat out in the garden or you're in the yard and you've been doing a lot of work and you come in, you take a shower and you feel great, right? Well, that's how you feel on the inside, and it affects the brain. That's why Tony Robbins talks about doing colonics so much. He's got a colonic bed in every one of his homes, because he knows if you want to be clear up here and be purposeful on your life's mission, you got to first fix this. It's all one body, guys. So let's go take a look at what a colonic room looks like. Follow me. And we'll do it hopefully before my battery dies, because I see I'm on low battery again. So down the halls here at Living Waters. If you want more about this, I'll go to our website, livingwaterscleanse.com. But before we get there, hey, just take a look at the second brain, all right? So this is, if you look here, this is all has to do with where your serotonin gets made for moods, right? If you are bipolar, if you've got headaches, migraines, right? You have to fix the transverse colon. Look at here, mental ability, mental speech, ego pressure, 5 sense area, animation life, sensory locomotion. So this is where it gets made, guys. You've got, this is amazing. If you've got issues with your right shoulder, okay, you've got a problem right here in your colon. If you got a left kidney issue, you've got an issue in your colon down here. Low back area is here. Eyes and ears up in this area. Look at this. You got ear, neck, breast. So there's a connection for everything. So in your intestinal tract, you have the surface area the size of a tennis court. And that tennis court, if you will, in your gut, you have villi. The villi is like shag carpet. And I mentioned that stuff being left, a little food left each time. Well, this gets matted down. And to heal the body, we have to get nutrients to the cells. And how we do that is it goes through the villi into the bloodstream. It gets taken to where it needs to go. Well, if this is impacted, guess what? You're not delivering the nutrients that you need to the bloodstream, to the cells, so you can't heal the cells. But once you do that, here's just some cases. It's a person with psoriasis. 4 months later, big change, right? That's pretty bad. 10 days, guys. Liver issue, 30 days, gone. Nail fungus, that's before, that's after. Feet, my feet used to look like this about 25 years ago. Okay, big change. This is a person with herpes. This is day 1, day 2, day 3. She had missed 2 weeks of school because it was like this for 2 weeks. 3 days. That's a big change, my friends. Okay, around the corner, let's go down to the colonic room. Really easy to do, guys. You shouldn't be feared about it. Okay, here's the colonic room, a very private room. These are called an open colonic bed system. What's great about that, you'll actually have control of the temperature here. We'll just get this going. And you have control of the flow of the water, but this is basically a very fancy toilet. You can see you have blankets to cover you up. Your feet go here, your head's up there. And basically, this is where your bottom goes. And what will be right there is a rectal tube. Okay, it's very, very tiny rectal tube. You'll insert it about this far into your rectum. Okay, it's smaller than a pencil. And the water is going to trickle out of here into your rectum. And it's basically going to create that washing machine action, if you will. Water's going to go in and out. Now, if you want to call the therapist, there's a telephone in here for you to grab. The cart here will be next to the bed. And it's really simple to do, guys. Really, really simple to do. There's no reason to be feared up about doing a colonic. So once you do the first one, it's a piece of cake, all right? So very private. As I mentioned, you're covered up, really easy to do, and you're gonna love how you feel afterwards. And that's what you wanna do, right? You wanna live fantastically. If you've got joint pain, if you've got soreness in your muscles, stiffness, if you've got brain fog, if you've got addictions to food or drugs even, this is the fastest, quickest, easiest way to reverse that. I've experienced it. We've seen many, many clients experience it. It's a simple, easy tool. My mission in life is to get more of you guys to try this, because once you do it, you're going to fall in love with the process. Let's say really easy to do, okay? Anyway, so tip number 5 tonight was doing colonics and starting the detox of the body. I'll be back tomorrow with tip number 6, and you're going to love tip number 6. It's going to be a lot of fun to explore that one with you as well. I'm David DeHaas from Living Waters, livingwaterscleanse.com. You guys make it a great evening.